In the Car with Starr, the interviews. Hello, I'm Shawn Starr. Glad to be with you with our next special guest. I hope you enjoyed our sit-down conversation with CPGA teacher David Hill, who joined us. Don't forget, if you're on youtube.com/In the Car with Starr, like, subscribe, give us a follow. Don't forget to share it. As we're trying to get you ready and primed for a brand new golf season 2022 edition. And it is driver season. It is my favorite time of year. As far as the off season goes, for me personally, you're seeing so many drivers coming out now, and the testing is through the roof. Proud to have with us right now Shawn Perno, who has been with the TaylorMade family. Shawn, for how long?
Going in 9 years now.
9 years.
Yeah.
Shawn is the man that oversees the a little bit of the Ottawa Gatineau region, the Quebec region. He's the man that supplies your golf club with TaylorMade gear. He has been working for TaylorMade, as he just told you, for almost a decade now. He's also the man that, if you fancy a new driver, and we'll get into the brand new TaylorMade Stealth driver that was released this week, that is setting the golf world to light. The reviews are through the roof. Ball speed, yardage is up, my friends. We'll talk about the specifics of the new driver in a second with Shawn, but he's the guy that when you go get a new club or you want to take your game a little bit more seriously, and that means fitting, getting fit for clubs. For those that are wondering about that process, Shawn, let's start there. What does that mean exactly for the novice when they say, you know what, I want to go get fitted for clubs, driver, iron, wedges. Can you get fitted for a putter? Let's talk about what that means for the person that wants to take golf a little bit more seriously.
Well, it's like any other sport, right? You go, we'll use hockey as an example, being the biggest sport for us in our province. Is no one kind of goes right onto the ice without getting fitted for their skates, getting the right size, getting the right stiffness of boot, whatever it may be. It's just you're getting the right equipment for your level of play and making sure you can enjoy it as much as you can. So golf is no different. What you're trying to get is the best equipment that fits your golf swing, fits your abilities, and helps you hit the best shots possible. I mean, we've gone through it. We've played this game enough. It's hard enough as it is. When you don't have the right equipment and you're playing with hand-me-downs from your father or whatnot, it could just make it that much harder to hit the right shots, and then you hit an off swing and it gets worse. So fitting is essentially trying to get the equipment to help you play better golf.
And who's it for? Like, at what point should the golfer that's maybe learning the game a little bit or has been playing for a while but has used hand-me-downs or just bought a club off a rack because it's shiny and it looks nice, or their friend said, oh, you have to buy this, like, who's fitting really for?
It's for everybody. Everybody will experience it a little bit different. Call the better player will experience it in a way where he's fine-tuning his game, getting the shot shapes that he wants, getting the launch windows that he wants when he's hitting his driver or his irons. Whereas the novice player is going to experience something where it's all brand new to them, finding out that, oh my God, I need over-length clubs. Like we've always talked about it, me and you, that at your height versus my height, we can't be using the same equipment. So a person that's a taller individual, all of a sudden you give them longer clubs, they don't have to be hunched over, and they're experiencing that for the first time, where they don't feel back pain or they don't feel like they got to get out of posture during their swing. It's all brand new to them. So it's for everybody. Everybody will go through a different experience depending on their level of play, but it's essential to every single golfer.
And so, I mean, people talk about getting fit for clubs. Does that mean all 14 in your bag, including the putter?
Not necessarily. Yes, it's all 14 clubs can get fitted. Called the irons, we'll do it off one iron. We'll do it off a 7 iron. So when you go get fit for a set of irons, us at TaylorMade, we're using 7 irons as a baseline. All our fitting gears with 7 irons. So, and then we base the rest of the set within the fitting we found. But then after that, you can go down to getting fit for your fairway woods, like a driver, finding out which fairway wood, which rescues are the best for the bag to properly set you up. Do you need long irons? Do you need a 4 and a 5 iron, or do you need a 4 and a 5 rescue to help you hit better shots? And then it goes right down to the short game. So wedge fitting, where we talk about bounce, we talk about different lofts to make sure you have the right gap again, better interaction with the turf, with bunkers, with rough in wet conditions, and then right down to putter. I mean, putter fitting is one of my favorites. We don't talk about it enough. There's a lot of things going on with the putter. It's the club you hit the most shots with during a round of golf, and a lot of times, like you said, it's even worse than the rest of the bag, where a lot of people just go and gravitate towards what's on the rack, pick up one that they like the look of. That's one part of it. But then finding out that you need the right loft, finding out the right length, the right lie angle, everything can affect how well you putt. So it is one of the best things to fit for, one of the things I enjoy the most, but certainly one of the things I don't do enough of.
You're definitely right about that, because in a round, you're going to hit your driver, 13 times?
Yeah.
Maybe 15 times. You know,
Maybe.
I mean, you got some par three,
you got some
par
holes,
threes
right?
to navigate or whatever else. But it's the club everybody pounds on the range, right? I mean, to your point about using the putter, I've never been fit for a putter. I'm fascinated by the process that goes into making sure, are you a mallet putter? Are you a heel putter, face balance? Like what type of style do you want? How much does technology help what you do? We're talking with Shawn Perno. We're working with TaylorMade. He's the man that fits you, sells you your clubs, and make sure you get into the right gear to shoot your best scores possible. And you can book appointments at the Blainvilliers. TaylorMade has a fantastic facility out of the Blainvilliers. So something you can book in the off season, something you can book in season to make sure you get the best gear for your game. But like, everybody's on GC Quad, everyone's on TrackMan, everyone wants launch angle, face attack. How much has that changed, or has it changed that much in terms of what you do in helping the average golfer?
It hasn't changed a ton in recent years. It's gotten better. It's gotten more accurate. It's gotten more reliable. We understand which monitors work best in certain conditions. Like a TrackMan outdoors is far and away the best monitor you can use to fit a golf club. And now they've gone on to have technology to help you fit putters, like we were just talking about. So it's just adding on to what we can do and what TrackMan can give us. Whereas compared to a GC Quad, which is a phenomenal machine as well, it's better indoors. It's a monitor that's image based with the launch conditions rather than a radar, which TrackMan, when you have the radar base, it's tracking the golf ball for a much longer period of time and giving you more reliable data in that sense. So I can do a fitting without technology. It's just the amount of fittings I've done. I kind of understand the ball flight. I know what I look for, the shot shapes I look for, but the technology just helps me confirm it, and it helps the experience with the consumer. Like he can see, he started at driver A, which was his gamer, at 250 yards carry. He ends up at 260. Then he's like, oh crap, I got 10 yards more distance. I'm good to go. This is exactly what I need.
That's a nice Jean Beliveau framed sweater you have behind you there, big boy.
I make sure the Hall of Famers are on the wall.
Just one, though, the classiest of them all. If you're going to put one Hall of Famer on the wall,
I got Gretzky, I got Mark Gretzky, and I got Lemieux.
What's the Mark Recchi? Doctor, by the way, Doctor Mark Recchi, after his medical advice, remember when Pacioretty got rammed into the stanchion by Chara, and then Pacioretty went to go see a movie, and Recchi was like, Woody, if you were concussed, why are you seeing a movie? Okay, Dr. Recchi. What's the Recchi connection there?
It's just shirts that throughout the year, like my family is less of a golf family and more so of a hockey family.
I would say so.
My father worked in hockey for Micron Skates back in the day. And
who's your uncle?
My uncle being a player agent. The Recchi jersey just showed up at the house, and then when I was looking at it, it was autographed. So I was kind of, there you go, you get on the wall if you're on the Hall of Fame.
Who's the have you got to meet? Who's your favorite player that you got to meet? NHLer.
That I got to meet. That's a good question. I don't know. I got to frequent, like Theodore and Ribeiro were two guys just because of the connection to my uncle.
You didn't party with them, did you?
I did not. No, I did not. I was too young at the time. But like Josie was always nice to me. And I got to see him the most. One of the coolest interactions, even though I don't remember it too much, is I got a phone call from Wayne Gretzky on my birthday one year.
Cool.
And that was one of the coolest things, other than hanging up on him, because my favorite player was Denny Savard.
No, what do you mean you hung up? How does that? What do you say? Hey, Shawn, happy birthday! This is Gretzky.
Just like I think I was 5 or 6. So the story goes, like I say, I don't remember it much, but the story goes that I just picked up the phone and said, "Hey, my favorite player is Denny Savard." Just went on to the next story. So that was that was a cool story that I get to keep for me.
I love that. That's awesome. With Shawn Perno, he is the fitter from TaylorMade, covering the Quebec, Ottawa, Gatineau region for TaylorMade. outfitted at the Blainvilliers. If someone watching right now in the middle of January wants to go to the Blainvilliers, can they call the club up now and like book a fitting for February? Once the mandate and social distance and all that other shit, we can get back to playing golf and getting fit again.
Yeah, they can phone the golf club right now. Alex Willette is the head fitter there and takes care of all the TaylorMade fittings for us at the Blainvilliers. Just phone up the club, ask for Alex, and you'll be able to. I'm not sure what the current situation is with taking fittings at the time, but as soon as they're at full capacity and ready to go, he books you in for fitting. He'll have the full gear as of I want to say next week to start fitting. And you guys can get into the gear quick and ready for the season.
Well, I'm ready. And for clarity's sake, I'm not paid by TaylorMade. Shawn Perno doesn't pay me any money to talk about the clubs or anything like that. I just want to put that out there. I am a TaylorMade player. I love my TaylorMade P790s. I am a spider putter. And listen, there's a lot of stuff I can't tell you, but new things are coming. New things are coming in the TaylorMade space that you're going to be very excited about. Shawn has sworn me I can't say anything. I want to tell you, but I just can't. So I want to get that out of the way. I am a TaylorMade player, and I've tried all clubs. I've been fit numerous times. I know what I like. And as we mentioned off the top, it is driver season. So you have the Stealth, don't you?
I do. I got it with me right here.
There it is.
White, shiny red face.
So you see the red face, the bright red face. I love, and I've watched a bunch of reviews. I watched Rick Shields review it. I watched the TXG guys. They're in SoCal hitting bombs on the fairway. Matty Boy's hitting it like 330 carry. I mean, just an absolute beast. Let's talk about the carbon face, the brand new TaylorMade Stealth driver that is out there. It's a bright red carbon face. Visually, I find it very stimulating. So the carbon face, is this new? Has this been done before?
It's a carbon face on a driver. There has been other products with limited success. This for us has been 20 years in the making. It's I think our engineers have always known carbon fiber is down the road is the way to go and can provide better efficiencies with the products. It's just how the journey from where we started with prototyping it to testing it with the drivers, then putting a carbon crown on the drivers to save weight, and now into the carbon face and moving into the era of carbon wood. For us, it's a game changer. It's like when we went from Persimmon Woods, started the first steel driver, went from a steel driver to a titanium driver. We're not looking back anymore. And essentially what carbon fiber face does for us is provide efficiency. It's lighter weight. We're saving 40% of the weight versus a titanium face and allowing us to unlock greater ball speeds. It's taking the trampoline effect and putting it on steroids. It's essentially what's going on now. And what else it's allowed us to do is make the faces a little bit bigger, which in turn makes the driver much more forgiving, more space for you to hit it off center and still get better distance. But yeah, the game changer is efficiency. It's just better if energy transfers through the golf ball once you're hitting that.
Now, if you can hold the driver head up again, the TaylorMade Stealth, the brand new driver, when's this going to be out for retail sale?
February 6th.
February 6th. Do we know the price point yet?
First, so the one I've got in my hands here is the Stealth. It'll be $749 retail, and we'll have the Stealth Plus. So I got one without the face here. Stealth Plus at $779.
So can the golfer really benefit by, you're talking about, saving weight on the face by going from titanium face to the 60 layered carbon face on the new TaylorMade Stealth. Can we really see the benefit from getting weight away from the face? I mean, this is F1 technology here we're talking about. Like every ounce, every gram matters.
Oh, 100%. Every gram does matter. I mean, you referenced the TXG videos, and I watched them yesterday as well, kind of going down the rabbit hole, seeing everybody. And the one I really enjoyed was the one where they're going through the fitting with Trotty.
That was great.
The fitter, and where he's talking about one of the first movable weight drivers, the R7 Quad that we have. Engineers were going bananas when we were able to save or move around 8 grams. And year to year, sometimes we're hearing them they'll say we save 3 grams of weight and redistribute it somewhere else. In a driver head, that's huge for our engineers. And now that they took 20 grams out of the face, are able to move 20 grams to other integral parts of the driver, say in the back of the driver where it provides stability, and that's four times what we used to be, even more so. Yeah, 4 or 5 times more than the weight savings we're used to getting. So it's unlocking great benefits, not only in distance, but it's helping us provide a more stable driver. And that was one of the things that, was it Matt that was getting fit? Where he's saying, just, I haven't felt a TaylorMade driver this stable and this consistent in a long time. Which I feel like if we're going to talk about what some consumers have, not as a negative reaction to TaylorMade products, but we've always been known as the kings of distance and providing the best drivers in terms of launch and spin and distance. Now that we're coming into it and being a number one in terms of forgiveness as well, it's a game changer for us.
It's what everybody wants. Everybody. Yep. I don't care how good you are, whether you're, a +1 handicap or you're 21 handicap. Everybody wants distance with forgiveness.
Yep.
Everybody does, right? And so if I can hit the ball a little bit further with a little bit more of that, I get some nice bounces, or I don't spray it as far on those really bad squirrely swings. I mean, what are we doing here? We're trying to shoot low. We're trying to have fun and stay competitive and everything else. And, you bring up an interesting point, because we have to talk about it. Like, everybody has their preference. People like the way a Ping driver sounds, or they prefer the sound of a Titleist driver. Some, as Maddie in the TXG podcast, the TaylorMade drivers haven't suited, his what he likes in a driver, whether it's the feel or the sound. How is this different than, let's say, the Sim or the Sim 2? Are people starting to respond more in a positive light to how this new driver feels and sounds?
It's a pro question, because like, feel is directly related to sound. So as much as some golfers can feel or think that how they describe feel in a golf club is in their hands, it's all in their ears. It's what the feedback they get from the sound when they hit the driver. One of the first things that we can say, all of us reps, when we first saw the driver and found out about it being a carbon face, was like, all right, how does this sound? It can perform, and we know it's going to perform on that. We have no doubt. How does this driver sound when we're hitting it? And you know what? It sounds like a titanium driver. So the consumers are going to see something where they're expecting a difference and expecting something muffled. We talked about carbon fiber drivers in the past. It was one of the negatives with it. It just sounded like a tin can or a can of Coke being hit.
Yeah.
It will not sound that much different than a titanium driver, which, for one thing, you don't want to pull that away from people. They're used to it. They like the sound of it. And like you mentioned, every company has a different feedback or auditory sound to their drivers, and to each their own. But honestly, we hit it out of the park with this one, making sure that the sound is tuned perfectly to give the players the feedback they want.
Right. So with the TaylorMade Stealth that's out for retail, February 6th, retailing at $749, there's also the other SKU, which is the Stealth Plus, which I noticed, and I'm glad, because one of my favorite TaylorMade drivers was the SLDR, because it had a slider. It had the weight slider. So the first line of Stealth drivers does not have the movable weight.
Correct.
So if you can hold up
Plus
the face,
will have a 10-gram movable weight along the front of the face.
Yep.
So being able to tune, kind of like we talked about fitting, it's for us, it's been a tool, we said, since the R7 quad, that just helps us fine tune and finalize that fitting to perfection. You hit that, you got it into the right launch and spin, you're hitting the right distance, you're getting more distance, and now you tell me, you know what, I'd like to see that one fall a little bit left or a little bit right. We can take that weight, pull it side to side, and just make sure we fine tune the ball flight to what you really want. It also gives you the opportunity, if on a given day you wake up and you're hitting more of a fade than you like, you know what, I'm going to play with that weight. You don't need to change the loft. You don't need to change the face angle. You just pull that weight a little bit towards the heel and help yourself correct that fade a little bit.
Is the Plus suited for a different player?
Not necessarily for a different player. If you go down the lineup of the 3 driver heads we have to offer, so starting with the Stealth Plus, the way I like to describe them, it's Stealth Plus is going to be the most neutral driver head we have. The one that allows the player to really hit the shot shapes that they want to hit. It's going to be the lowest launching, lowest spinning head of the family. Stealth Plus Stealth on its own is the middle of the road, a little higher launching, more forgiveness than the Stealth Plus head. And then the high draw, or the HD, is the most forgiving, provides the highest launch in the family, and the most spin of the three heads. Also has a much more draw biased weighting to it.
Hopefully you could take the right side of the golf course out of play for those slicers, those over the toppers, those steep swingers. And you can still, by the way, you could still hit a slice with an
You
HD
definitely
driver.
can. Yeah.
It just helps you a little
no
bit.
guarantees to hit high draws.
Exactly right. All day, every day.
Help.
With Shawn Perno from TaylorMade. Of course, you can book your fitting right now. As a matter of just give LeBlanvilliers a call. Alex is there, and he'll be able to schedule the next appointment whenever we're allowed to. I guess go back indoors and resume some of our healthier activities in the wintertime. Pleasure to talk with you, man. Like, obviously, the driver season is out. Anything else you can tell us about, like new irons, the 790s?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd say that the driver, like we talked about just before we hopped on, is making the big bang across the airways. But the Stealth family is much more than that. It goes down to the fairway woods. Fairway woods not yet having the carbon face technology on them, but definitely making improvements in the fairway woods with a 3D carbon wrap tech with the crown of the fairway woods, ensuring again that we're saving weight and redistributing it to the right place to gain better launch and spin, gain better ball speeds off the club face, as well as the rescues, the irons, the Stealth irons. Now, I mean, in terms of looks, really blending well with a family that we've had success. You mentioned the 790 irons. The look of these irons when you pull them out look like tour player irons, but then when you set them down and you play them, they're true game improvement irons that will help players hit higher shots, land on the greens a little softer, and get better distances to what they currently have in their irons.
And we need to see players, play. This is what really moves the needle, right? Like, we're not going to see Rory at Kapalua in Maui. He's going to be in Abu Dhabi in a few weeks. Though we saw Rory's Instagram hitting the Stealth. We saw Tiger hitting the Stealth. Some nice little.
That was a fun weekend, eh?
Oh, that's great, man. But like, what about DJ Morikawa? Are we gonna see them in play at Kapalua as early as like tomorrow?
I think Colin's in the field.
DJ's not. But
DJ's not. I mean, crazy to think that it's his first. Last year was his first, I think, in over 10 years that he hasn't had a win, which is crazy. Is only Tiger is the other player that had done that. So DJ, we should see him the second week in Hawaii. Colin will be there. Both of them have stated they have it in play. So it's huge for us. Like, you look at, those guys will change when they see improvements and they're comfortable with what they have. Colin was one of the first ones we saw testing when we were in sales meetings and got to see player feedback. And he was just blown away by one, like we talked about, the sound being consistent with what he's used to. And then he didn't even need to see the numbers, which was crazy. Is he would see the ball fly in the air and say that's flying further and flying to a different peak angle or peak trajectory than I'm used to. And then, like we said, we have that technology to back it up, where he turns around, looks at the TrackMan, and goes, "Okay, this is going in the bag." So truly, it's Colin's a good one because he's one of the tougher ones, like Trotty explained, to get into the right fitting equipment and getting into the right windows. Whereas Rory's one of the guys, he's always changed. He's always been adoptive of new technology. It's fun to see the guys that are a little tougher go right into the gear.
So step up to wherever you love to buy your golf stuff, whether it's TaylorMade.com or a retail outlet or whatever it is. The lesson here for me, the takeaway here for me is go sample, go try, and once you're ready to execute, go get fit. And maybe at that point, invest yourself in a little bit, maybe take a couple of lessons. You can maximize it. I promise you're gonna have, unless and I have this conversation with my golf friends regularly, Shawn, in season. Like, how do you define fun when you're playing golf? Some people, it's, having a few beers, hopping in a golf cart, shooting whatever they shoot and having a laugh for 4 hours. If that's their definition of fun, I am not here to judge. I am not here to argue you. But my definition of fun is hitting the ball far, straight, and shooting the best possible score I can shoot every day I decide to play golf. That's my definition of fun. How can I get there? How can I get there? And I hope that we're steering you in the path of you getting there eventually too. Shawn Perno from TaylorMade, thank you as always. Look forward to having you back on the pod when the new I was going to say what's coming out. I'm not telling you what's coming. New things are coming soon, and we'll have you back on to talk about it. And maybe we'll be in person. We'll get to actually try and hit balls together, and we can film it and have fun. Thanks as always, man.
Session will be fun in person.
Perfect. So hit up Alex at LeBlainvilliers. Go test out the Stealth. Hit me up. Tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this with all your golf-minded friends. Big thanks to my sponsors, as always. Ash Gregoire, Shawn Perno Nissan at 4299 Auto Route 440 West in Laval. The Joya family is the best in the business. Nobody has better deals than Ash Gregoire, Shawn Perno Nissan. And, of course, Poutineville, Vaudreuil, Dorion. They're back open today. They're finally back open Jan 6th. Of course, no in-person dining, but Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, all that online ordering stuff. Just call and go pick it up. You'll save money. They'll save money. Call and pick it up. And, of course, K-Stop Gas Bar in Depiner, Highway 138 in Ganawage. You see what the price of gas is? Why are you paying more than you need to pay? Just jump over to Mercier, Highway 138, Playground Poker. It's right there. Cheap gas, premium gas, cheap prices. K-Stop Gas Bar, Highway 138 in Ganawage. In the car with Starr, the interviews. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Thanks, brother.